Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling something I think we can all relate to. Building a financial safety net.
Yeah, that feeling of security, like
Yeah.
you can handle whatever life throws your way.
Right, exactly. And we've got some awesome source material today that
Mm.
really breaks it down. Not just what a financial safety net is, but how to actually build one.
It's kind of fascinating because it goes beyond, just having money in the bank.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? What exactly makes up this safety net?
Well, the sources we're looking at today, they define it as like a set of savings and insurance and just overall financial strategies that
Yeah.
are designed to protect you from those unexpected things,
Yeah.
Expenses pop up, income disruptions happen.
Okay, so pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
And this source material seems to have some really specific advice on the exact steps to take,
Yeah.
which I'm excited to dig into.
It's pretty cool. It's more relatable than you might think.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, imagine, think of a rock climber. You wouldn't scale a cliff without a harness, would you?
No way.
That harness is there to catch you. If you slip, prevent a disastrous fall.
Makes sense.
So a financial safety net, it's kind of like that same support system, but for your money life, It's making sure that a bump in the road doesn't turn into a financial crisis.
Okay, that image is definitely staying with me. I like that. So where do we even begin with this? Where do we start building this metaphorical harness?
Good question. Well, the sources, they all seem to agree that the first and probably most important piece is the emergency fund.
Okay, emergency fund. Got it.
And they recommend having like 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses stashed away.
3 to 6 months. Wow, that seems like a lot.
It might seem like a lot,
Yeah.
but think about it. If you lost your job tomorrow,
Oh,
that fund needs to cover your essentials.
right.
Rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, all that stuff while you're getting back on your feet.
That makes sense. I hadn't really thought about it like that.
And, the source even mentions covering surprise medical bills, which, let's face it, nobody can predict those.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, 3 to 6 months. Got it. But where should this money actually lie, VE? Like what type of account?
Yeah, so the sources they point to high-yield savings accounts or money market accounts as the way to go.
Okay, why is that?
Well, it's about finding that balance between security and easy access,
Hmm.
You need that money available, like instantly, if an emergency happens, not locked up in some investment that could take time to cash out.
Makes sense.
And plus, these accounts, they generally offer a bit more interest than like a regular checking account, so your money is at least working a little bit for you.
Okay, so no stashing it under the mattress.
Got it.
All right, what about insurance? This source talks about this as another big piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like having an umbrella
Right.
for a rainy day.
Exactly. But you need different kinds of umbrellas,
Oh.
depending on the storm.
Okay.
So the source breaks down different types of insurance, right? Health insurance, of course,
Right.
to help manage those medical costs, which can be a huge financial drain. Then there's disability insurance, which can actually replace part of your income if you can't work due to illness or injury.
Oh, that's interesting. We actually did a whole deep dive on that topic
Yeah.
a while back.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah. And then the source also mentions homeowners or renters insurance,
Mm-hmm.
life insurance, auto insurance. It's like creating a shield around your finances, protecting you from all angles.
Okay, so it's really about making sure you've got all your bases covered,
Right.
having all those different types of insurance.
Exactly. And it's worth, taking stock of your current coverage and just seeing if it actually aligns with your needs. Maybe you've recently moved, switched jobs, had a major life change. Any of those things could mean it's time to reassess.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to something that I'm guessing isn't anyone's favorite topic, debt.
Yeah, but it's important.
Yeah. The source is very clear that managing debt is crucial for building a solid financial safety net.
And it's true. High interest debt, like credit card balances, can be a massive source of stress,
Right.
especially when you've got those other unexpected expenses popping up on top of it.
So it's like you're already juggling, and then suddenly someone throws another ball in the mix.
Exactly. It's like juggling while blindfolded, too, because those high interest rates can feel so unpredictable.
Okay, so what does the source recommend? How do we tackle this?
Well, they mentioned 2 main methods, the debt avalanche and the debt snowball.
Debt avalanche, debt
Yeah.
snowball. Okay, break those down for me.
Okay, so the avalanche method, it's all about logic.
Yeah.
You focus on paying down your highest interest debt first,
Okay.
which makes sense,
Mm.
right? Because it saves you the most money on interest charges over time,
Yeah.
but it can feel like a long slog. if those balances are big.
Right.
The snowball method, on the other hand, it's more about momentum. You pay off the smallest debts first, regardless of interest rate.
Right.
And as you knock out those smaller debts, you get this psychological boost that helps you keep going, like a snowball rolling downhill,
Mm.
gaining speed as it goes.
So it's about that emotional payoff,
Yeah,
which can be just as important as the financial payoff.
right. Totally. And the source really highlights that it's all about finding a strategy that motivates you, because
Yeah.
consistency is key.
For sure. And speaking of motivation, let's talk about something that can really change the game. Diversifying your income streams.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
You know that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
The source applies that to income too.
It's so true.
Like, what if your only source of income suddenly dried up?
Yeah.
Having those multiple streams can provide that backup you need.
Exactly. And it's not just about, taking on a second job, although that's definitely an option. The source mentions side hustles, freelance work,
Oh, yeah.
even things like rental income if you own property. It's
Yeah.
about exploring different avenues that align with your skills and your interests.
Okay, that's a good point. And here's where I think it gets really interesting. The source also brings up passive income, like
Mhm.
investments,
Yeah.
as a way to build financial resilience. I don't know. I've always thought of investing as something for way down the line, not necessarily part of a safety net.
Yeah, it's a great long-term strategy, for sure. But even starting small with investments can contribute to your overall sense of security, It's like having your money work for you in the background, even while you're focused on those main income sources.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued by this. We'll have to do a whole separate deep dive on passive income at some point.
Mm.
But for now, let's wrap up this first part by talking about another essential element, budgeting.
Right. I know the word budget. It can get a bad rap sometimes. It can feel like it's all about restriction and deprivation.
Oh, yeah.
But the source really emphasizes the importance of having a flexible budget, which sounds way more appealing.
Right, way more. So how do we make a budget that's actually usable in real life, not just this rigid thing that we abandon after a week?
Well, the source gives some great pointers, like starting by prioritizing your essential expenses.
Right.
Things like housing, food, utilities. Then it's about identifying areas where you could potentially cut back if needed, but not necessarily depriving yourself on a daily basis.
Okay, so it's about creating a plan that gives you a clear understanding of where your money is going and where you have wiggle room if those unexpected expenses pop up.
Exactly. It's like having a roadmap helps you stay on track, but also allows for those detours when necessary.
Okay, I like that. I'm actually feeling a little more empowered already, just having defined these different pieces of the puzzle.
I love that.
Go
That's the thing about knowledge, right? It replaces fear with a sense of control.
Absolutely. And we've only just scratched the surface. We still got tons to unpack in the next part of this deep dive. So stay tuned. We'll be back soon with more strategies and insights to help you build that unshakable financial foundation.
Can't wait. Welcome back to our deep dive into building that financial safety net. We talked about the emergency fund as this foundational piece, but the source material also mentions that it's not the only savings goal we should have.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, what else is there?
Well, it's like building a house, right? The foundation is crucial, but you also need walls and a roof
Yeah.
and all those other components to actually make it a home.
Okay, I see your point.
So the source emphasizes having separate savings goals for
Yeah.
things like home repairs, education, maybe a down payment on a house. These things can make a huge difference in your overall financial well-being.
Yeah, that makes sense. Having those dedicated accounts
Mhm.
would not only help you actually reach those goals,
Mhm.
but just knowing you're making progress probably boosts that feeling of financial confidence we keep talking about.
Exactly. It shifts your mindset from I'll never be able to afford that to I'm actively working towards it and I have a plan.
I like that.
Yeah. And speaking of long-term planning, the source spends quite a bit of time on retirement, which can feel like a distant concept for some people.
Yeah, for sure. Retirement always seems so far off. It's easy to just kind of push it to the back burner.
It's true. But the source makes a pretty compelling argument for why starting early and saving consistently is so important.
Okay, so why is it so important? Convince me.
Okay, think of it like planting a tree. The earlier you plant it, the more time it has to grow and
Yeah.
develop a strong root system, right? Well, retirement savings work the same way. The earlier you start, the more time your investments have to grow and compound. Thanks to the magic of compound interest.
Compound interest. Always a good thing. The source also mentions employer-sponsored retirement plans. like 401ks is a key strategy. I know a lot of companies offer those,
Hmm.
but I've always been a little fuzzy on how they actually work.
Yeah, they can seem a little complex at first, but
Yeah.
essentially they're accounts where you contribute pre-tax dollars, and that money grows tax-deferred until you withdraw it in retirement.
Okay.
And many employers even offer a matching contribution, meaning they'll put in a certain amount of money for every dollar you contribute.
Wait, so it's like getting free money towards your retirement savings?
Basically,
Yeah.
it's definitely worth looking into.
Okay, for sure. What if your employer doesn't offer a 401k, though? Or maybe you're self-employed?
Yeah, the source covers that too. They talk about individual retirement accounts, IRAs, as another great option. There are different types, each with its own set of rules and benefits.
Okay.
So traditional IRAs offer tax deductions on contributions, while Roth IRAs allow for tax-free withdrawals in retirement.
So many options.
I know, right? It can feel overwhelming, but it's all about finding the type of IRA that aligns with your individual financial situation and goals.
Right, and the source also mentions seeking guidance from a financial advisor, which makes sense if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the choices.
It's like having a personal trainer for your finances.
Oh, I like that.
They can help you navigate those decisions and create a personalized plan.
Okay, let's shift gears now to a topic that many people find a bit, well, uncomfortable: estate planning.
Yeah, not exactly the most cheerful topic, but I get it. The source stresses that it's important for everyone, regardless of age or net worth. Right, it's about ensuring that your wishes are honored and that your loved ones are taken care of if something were to happen to you.
Right, it's like having a backup plan for your life,
Exactly.
ensuring that things are handled according to your wishes,
Yeah.
even if you're not able to make those decisions yourself. It definitely brings that peace of mind, knowing that your loved ones won't be burdened with unnecessary stress or uncertainty
Right.
during a difficult time.
Absolutely. And the source points out that you don't have to navigate this alone, you know? There are estate planning attorneys who specialize in helping people create these documents and make sure they're legally sound.
Okay, so it's like having a translator for legalese.
Exactly. Okay, now let's kind of loop back to something that underpins all of this: financial literacy. The source really emphasizes that having a solid understanding of personal finance principles is key to building a strong foundation.
You know, it's funny, we learned so much in school about history, science, math, but personal finance is often left out of the curriculum. I feel like I had to learn most of this stuff on my own, through trial and error.
Yeah, it's true. But the good news is there are tons of resources available now to help us bridge that knowledge gap.
Oh, good. Like what?
Well, the source mentions books, podcasts, online courses, even workshops. There's something for every learning style and budget.
That's awesome. So much out there.
Yeah, and the source really encourages us to be proactive about seeking out this information and to continually educate ourselves. You know, it's an ongoing journey. And the more we learn, the more empowered we become to make those informed decisions.
I like that. It's a journey,
Yeah.
not a destination.
Exactly. It's like learning a new language. At first, it can feel challenging and overwhelming, but the more you practice, the more fluent you become.
Yeah.
And just like being able to communicate effectively opens up a world of possibilities, so does being financially literate.
Ooh, I love that analogy. It makes me realize that I've come a long way in my own financial literacy journey, but there's always more to learn.
That's the beauty of it, right? It's a continuous process of growth and discovery. And as we wrap up this part about deep dive, I want to bring it back to that analogy we used earlier: the rock climber and the safety harness.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Building a financial safety net, it's like putting on that harness. It gives you that sense of security and support,
Yeah.
allowing you to claim higher, explore new terrain, push your boundaries, knowing that you have that protection in place.
And it's not just about avoiding risks, right? It's about feeling empowered to take calculated risks, pursue opportunities, and live life more fully, knowing that you have that foundation to fall back on.
Exactly. It's about building that resilience, that ability to bounce back from setbacks
Mhm.
and navigate uncertainty with greater ease.
And it's about embracing that sense of empowerment that comes from taking control of our financial well-being.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the final part of our deep dive into building a financial safety net. We've covered so much ground, from emergency funds and insurance to tackling debt and even thinking about retirement and estate planning. It's been a lot.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. Right. And through it all, we've emphasized that a financial safety net, it isn't just about numbers in a spreadsheet.
Right.
It's about cultivating that feeling of peace of mind, that sense of empowerment, knowing you're prepared to handle whatever life throws your way.
Absolutely. So for this last part, let's get super practical.
Okay.
What are the actual steps we can take right now, today, to
Yeah.
start building or strengthening our own safety nets. I know the source material we've been discussing had some really great advice on it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One of the first things the source recommends is taking a good, honest look at your current financial situation. It's like taking inventory before you go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
You need to know what you already have before you can figure out what you need.
Right. So it's about understanding your income, your expenses, your
Right.
assets, debts, basically getting a clear picture
Right.
of your overall financial landscape.
Exactly.
The source even suggests creating a budget or using a financial tracking tool to really get a handle on where your money is going.
Yeah, and once you have that clear understanding of your starting point, you can start setting realistic goals and creating a plan to achieve them. It doesn't have to be anything drastic, you know? Remember, the source emphasized starting small and building from there.
Right. Consistency over intensity.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to admit, even those small, consistent steps can feel daunting sometimes. What are some practical ways to make saving, easier or more automatic?
Oh, the source has a great tip for that. Automate your savings. Seriously, set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings or investment accounts. It's like paying yourself first
Yeah.
before you even have a chance to spend that money.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that set it and forget it approach.
Exactly.
The source also talks about exploring ways to increase your income, which obviously would make saving a lot easier too.
Yeah, for sure. This could be anything from negotiating a raise at your current job to taking on a side hustle or even developing new skills that could lead to higher paying opportunities. The possibilities are kind of endless.
And the source even mentions passive income streams, like investing in dividend-paying stocks or rental properties as a way to bolster your financial security. I'm telling you, I'm more and more curious about passive income every day. It seems like such a game changer.
It definitely is. It's worth exploring. But it's important to remember that no matter how well we plan, how diversified our income streams are, or how diligently we save, life is unpredictable. Setbacks are gonna happen.
It's true. It's almost like planning for the unexpected is part of the plan.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of counterintuitive,
Mhm.
but I guess it makes sense.
Exactly. The source really emphasizes being kind to yourself,
Mhm.
focusing on progress over perfection. It's a journey, not a destination.
Okay, I like that.
There will be bumps in the road, but it's about how you navigate them.
And speaking of navigation, the source also recommends seeking support from others, whether that's talking to a financial advisor, joining a financial literacy group, or even just confiding in trusted friends or family members who can offer encouragement and accountability.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sharing your goals and challenges with others can make a huge difference. It's like having cheerleaders on the sidelines, reminding you why you started this journey in the first place.
I love that. And don't forget to celebrate those wins along the way. Every milestone, big or small, deserves to be acknowledged.
Absolutely. Give yourself credit for the progress you're making and let that motivate you to keep going.
Yes.
Building a financial safety net. It's not just about protecting yourself from potential risks. It's about empowering yourself to live a more fulfilling and purposeful life.
That is such a good point. When you have that sense of financial security, it frees you up to pursue your passions, make choices that align with your values, and navigate life's challenges with greater resilience and confidence.
It's about creating a life where you feel empowered, not burdened by your finances, and, that's something everyone deserves.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into building a financial safety net.
It's been my pleasure. It really has.
And to everyone listening, we hope you feel inspired and equipped to take those first steps, no matter how small, towards creating that sense of security for yourselves. Remember, every journey begins with a single step, and the rewards are well worth the effort. We'll catch you next time for another insightful exploration of the topics that matter most.